Welcome to So What? It is Tuesday. We are already in the thick of November, it seems, and it just got started. But I'm happy to report it is Videocast Day. So after the Facebook Live, or the So What, I should say, because we are now also broadcasting on YouTube as well as on Facebook here. But after our So What episode airs today, we will head on over to our Sulky education platform, which is sewingonline.sulky.com. And we will be doing our Wilderness Wonder videocast. That is happening at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what to expect this afternoon. So if you haven't registered already, maybe I can persuade you to come and join us at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Before we get into that, though, I want to make a big splash about the brand new Sulky Perfect Applique. I have been talking about this fusible web from Sulky for quite some time now. I think I started talking about it back in the summer, in maybe June or July, and we were waiting to launch it at sulky.com, and the time has come. The Sulky Perfect Applique is now available for purchase at sulky.com, and it is also included in our Wilderness Wonder Applique kits. So whether or not you're joining us at 2 p.m. today, you can grab up one of those kits and make your own large-scale applique featuring a deer, elk, or moose. This applique design is basically assembled kind of like a puzzle. And I'm going to show you how it all comes together at 2 p.m. today on our education platform. Again, if you are in a different time zone than Eastern Time, you will need to account for that, and so that you join us at the right time when our videocast goes live. If you are unable to join us live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you can still view the videocast at any time after the live event ends. So you will get a link for joining the event page. And also when you sign up for one of our videocasts or live webcasts, anything you sign up for is stored in your own personal library on our education platform. So not only can you view this videocast, but you can view anything that you have seen before or add any of our legacy webinars to your account, and you can view them at any time. The great thing is, whenever we do a webcast, videocast, webinar, special event, anything associated with that event, if there's a pattern, an embroidery design, an applique design, all the presentation materials, everything is available for you to access after that event. So if there is an event we did a year ago, let's say, and you're interested in it, add it to your library. You can grab up all the freebies, all the downloads, all the presentation materials, and watch that video at any time. So you don't have to be joining us live to get all the benefits of that special event. For example, today, this afternoon, we will be giving away 4 door prizes. 4 door prizes for a videocast. And whether you attend or not, you are eligible to win those door prizes. When we do a free webcast, you have to attend live in order to be eligible for those door prizes. So there's a little bit of difference between all of the events we do over on the education platform. So if it's a free webcast, it is a 60-minute event. There are 2 door prizes you can win. And there are, again, always freebies and fun things like that to take advantage of, in addition to all the great content and education that you get throughout the event. If it's a video cast, that is 90 minutes of content, and We have multiple camera views for you to be able to see the sewing up close. And there are 4 great door prizes to win. As you can see, my studio is a bit of a mess right now because I am setting up for the event later this afternoon. And you can see I have 2 sewing machines I will be demoing on. I've got 1, 2, 3 cameras, and then I'm actually going to move one so I have a 4th camera view for you today as well. So lots of good stuff happening in the video cast. I'll get into special events momentarily as well, but I just want to remind everyone, this is what that really great large scale applique looks like. This is the deer version done on a whole cloth quilt example. So not only are you going to learn about creating these large scale appliques, but also some different ways to apply that to projects. So if you're not a quilter, I will be giving you some inspiration for turning this into a home deck item. If you are a quilter, but you want a couple of different options, we've got a whole cloth quilt example, as well as a more intricate pieced quilt that you can create. Let's see, if this is your first time quilting and maybe this is intimidating for you, come on and join us, because honestly, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I don't really consider myself a quilter, although I've made many quilts. So I guess I am a quilter to some extent. But honestly, if I can do it, you can do it. And it might look intimidating, and that's the whole point. We're making something that is actually not as difficult as it may seem. And I'm going to show you just how easy it can be. The great thing about this is that we're using a pre-printed fabric panel to cut out all of our applique pieces. So we don't have to go hunting for all of these fabric colors, trace them all, fuse our fusible web to them, assemble them all on the background fabric. We're going to cut out a lot of those steps by using a pre-printed applique panel. All right, so I did mention freebies, goodies, things like that you get when you register for one of our events. And today, the freebie for our Wilderness Wonder applique video cast is this really great Antler Antics machine embroidery design. This is a great design you can use for upcoming holiday. It really looks like big reindeer antlers, but honestly, it will complement any one of the Wilderness Wonder quilts or projects that you intend to make with your applique pattern. And you can also use it to, excuse me while I get a sample, to personalize the little quilt label that is also included on your pre-printed applique panel. So if you grab up one of the kits, here's what the kits look like. We have them for the deer, elk, or moose. The kit also comes with the digital pattern for the animal that you choose. So you will get the pre-printed fabric panel, you will get the perfect applique, and you will get a 6-pack of sulky 50 weight cotton thread to use for your applique and your optional quilting. That 6-pack is called the Wilderness Wonder Thread Assortment. So on your pre-printed fabric panel, you will find a quilt label. We had a little extra room on that fabric panel, so we thought, why not give you a little label you could use and cut out to personalize this if you're making it for a gift for someone. And even if you're making it for your own self, it's a great little keepsake. You could put the date that you made this. You can even sign it using an iron-on transfer pen. Sulky has really great iron-on transfer pens in lots of different colors. You can put your Antler Antics machine embroidery design on here and then further personalize it with a little note or just a date or little message for the recipient. So lots of different things we're going to go over this afternoon. I will show you a little bit closer up the options I just discussed. So here is how that applique kind of comes together. Now, without spilling the beans and telling you everything you're going to learn this afternoon, we will be assembling all of those pre-printed applique pieces onto our background fabric by using the key that is in the pattern. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for working with that as well. So this is kind of what it looks like when you assemble it. Like I said, it's like a big puzzle piece. So all the pieces abut and it just ends up looking really impressive when in actuality, it wasn't that difficult. Here is the whole cloth quilt example that I made for today's video cast. And I'm going to be showing that option. And like I said, I'll also be showing an option for creating a larger scale quilt with some piecing around the borders as well. And the same technique applies whether you're doing the deer, the elk, or the moose. I'm also going to go over some different ways of quilting the finished piece. If you want to add quilting, you can certainly leave this as an applique and either do some quilting around the animal applique or kind of leave it as plain or as intricate as you want. So some of the options for quilting, here you could see the quilting on my finished piece, and the quilting that's done on the animal is all done using the sulky Filaine acrylic thread. This is a 12 weight thread and it has a really sort of furry texture to it. So it's really great if you want to just do the antlers out of the Filaine and make them look like they're in velvet, or you could do the entire deer applique, including the antlers, by using some free motion, or even just stitching in the ditch using that thicker thread. So you can really create some different textures, looks, and use a lot of different techniques for quilting the finished piece. All right. So here is what the digital pattern looks like for the elk. I wanted to show you all of the different animal options. Someone's asking, is this raw edge applique? Yes, it is. And I'm going to be going over tips for raw edge applique as well. We're going to master the blanket stitch. You can also use lots of decorative stitches on your sewing machine to secure your fabric edges. You can choose a satin stitch. So we're going to go over all those options this afternoon as well. So definitely join us if you're interested in learning anything about applique, anything about quilting. Well, not anything, but we are going to dive into some certain topics. And yes, Dawn says it looks like it's popping off the quilt. That's the cool thing about using a heavier weight thread for any kind of detail work, whether it's applique stitches to secure your decorative appliques, or quilting, or even top stitching. It really makes that thread detail pop and really, really shows it off nicely, gives a lot of texture and dimension to the finished piece. All right, so back to that Wilderness Wonder thread pack that comes with the kit. If you choose to buy the kit, it is on sale already, $39.99 for the pattern, the 6-pack of thread, the fusible web, which is called Perfect Applique, and the fabric panel of your choice. All those things bundled together, only $39.99. It is a steal. So whether you get the deer, elk, or moose, all of them are $39.99. Or you can kind of piecemeal things. If you just want to grab the fabric panel, if you just want to grab the pattern, if you just want to grab the 6-pack of thread, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to create your own kit for the Wilderness Wonder. I do want to mention that if you are picking and choosing and grabbing things up piecemeal, you need to be sure to get the digital pattern as well, because the only product that comes with the digital pattern is that main kit. So you could grab up the digital pattern bundle and get all three, the deer, elk, and moose, bundled together for a great price, and then decide which fabric panel you kind of want to start with. You could go that route, but it's a really great deal to grab up the whole kit for $39.99. Let's say you want to start with the deer, grab up that whole kit, and then maybe grab a secondary fabric panel and pattern, that type of thing. So it's kind of your choice there. So anyways, this is what the 6-pack of thread looks like. And this is our giveaway today here on So What. So for one lucky viewer who is liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to the YouTube channel, all of those great things to engage with the post today, you are automatically eligible to win the Wilderness Wonder 6-pack thread assortment. And you can see it comes in all these great colors that really coordinate perfectly with the fabric colors that are used on the panel and within the applique design. So again, no matter which animal you choose, this 6-pack of thread coordinates with that applique. So make sure you are liking, commenting, sharing, all those good things, bringing me your questions and comments. I'm seeing them coming in with a vengeance now. So Betsy, that's a good point. She says, as an infrequent quilter, the raw edge method sounds a lot easier. So the person that designed the Wilderness Wonder is Ashley Huff, and you may recognize her name from the National Quilter Circle or National Sewing Circle. She does a lot of videos for them and has created some really, really beautiful quilt patterns over the years. So she designed this, and actually raw edge applique is her favorite method. So that's what is used here. And I think you will find that it comes out really, really beautiful. And like I said, we're going to go over a lot of different stitches you can use to secure your applique. So if you're not into the blanket stitch, we can choose something else. If you really like satin stitch applique to conceal all those raw edges, you may do that as well. If you want to use a thicker thread for your applique, by all means, it will also work for this. So it's a very versatile pattern, and you can really get the look that you want, just by choosing some different techniques, different thread weights, and different stitches on your machine. All right, awesome giveaway. Make sure that you have liked either the Sulky Facebook page if you're watching from Facebook, or that you have subscribed to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube today. That's how I can get a hold of you if you are a winner. So make sure you are doing those things as well as commenting and all of that great stuff. All right, how much of the Sulky Perfect applique does the panel use? It is going to use the whole 1 yard pack, and regardless of which animal you choose, I tested it out. You may have some pieces here and there left over that you can reserve for another project. Maybe you have an in the hoop applique where you only need a little piece. But I will say that the Perfect applique, since we are, it's been on the site for a little bit, but we are officially launching it with this video cast today. So it's on sale right now. You can get it for a really great price. So if you want more of it, because trust me, this Perfect applique is the greatest quality. It doesn't lose its stickiness over time. Let's say you add an applique to a piece of fabric, and then you're going to go back and sew it on. And then sometimes, with a lesser quality fusible web, you'll find that maybe the corners aren't sticking anymore, or it's come loose entirely even after fusing. You will not get that with the Sulky Perfect applique. And it's a nice lightweight, so it doesn't turn your quilt top or your pillow or your home deck item or your wall hanging, whatever you're making, it doesn't turn it into this bulletproof kind of finished feel to it. It doesn't really change the hand of the fabric. You'll still have a nice flowy quilt at the end of the day that you can cuddle up with if that's what you choose to make with your fusible web, with your applique. All right. Always learning something new, Marilyn. Thank you. Oh, who won last week's amazing $100 gift certificate? Thank you for bringing that up. So, in the interest of privacy, I'm not going to announce the person's name, but it was announced in the original So What post. So if you go to the Facebook page and scroll down to last week's So what? You will find the winner was announced. And she was very excited. So she got a $100 shopping spree at to sulky.com because it was our 100th episode last week. So really, really, really great. Thanks for bringing that up. All right. And again, today you have the chance of being a winner again to win that Wilderness Wonder 6-pack of thread. All right. Lots of people saying, I love the moose. I love the deer. Okay. Betsy says, if we buy a panel, do we need to download instructions? So yes, if you bought a panel by itself, it does not come with the pattern. So you also need to purchase the pattern for that panel. And that's the only way you're going to get the key for assembling all of those pieces together. And the reason why those are separate is for those people who bought a kit but want a second panel to make the same animal, they can add another panel and still use that original pattern that they purchased. So that's why everything is kind of sold separately. If you purchase only a panel, you will also need the pattern in order to assemble that panel. So I hope that is clear. The great thing is the pattern is a digital product. So you will get that delivered to your sulky.com account after purchase. And then you can go there, download it, print out the pages that you need, and so forth. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with the questions. Okay, Lori wants the link for Perfect Applique. The link for Perfect Applique, if you view the entire description for the post today, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, if you don't see the entire description, click on the little See More button. There will be a link to all of the Wilderness Wonder videocast specials. Click on that and you will find the Perfect Applique is on sale. Or you can just go to sulky.com and search Perfect Applique and you will see it's already on sale. You don't need a coupon code. That is the benefit of Videocast Day because you can reap the benefits of all of those sales that we put on for the 24 hours of the videocast. All right. Loving the sale. There's a lot of other things on sale as well. Because the videocast is happening today. Okay. Is the Perfect Applique double-sided? Yes, it is. It's a lightweight, double-sided fusible web. All right. And thank you, Sue. You sell such high quality and dependable products. It's really nice to work for a company where I can 100% back the products and use them and love using them in my projects, and it's all absolute truth coming from me. Okay. Helen says, I already ironed my fusible and I didn't have enough, so I used another in my stash. So during the video cast, I'm going to show you which pieces and how to fuse your Perfect Applique so that that 1 yard piece works no matter which animal you chose. So if you try to fuse it on the entire fabric panel and then went to cut out your pieces, you're right, you won't have enough. So I'm hoping that that you get some tips and tricks and can at least view how I did it. And that way, if you want to purchase another kit, but I'm glad that you had some in your stash that you could supplement with. I hope it is just as good as the Sulky fusible web. You'll have to let us know. But for those of you out there, please try to watch the video cast before diving into the project. The video casts are not meant to be actual sew-alongs. So you don't really need to prep your pieces or have them waiting and ready to be sewn during the event. But I understand the enthusiasm for wanting to get ahead on some portions of the project. So I'm sorry, Helen, but I'm glad you were able to use something in your stash so that you can still do the project without much sort of hassle. So that's good to know. All right, lots of people got the elk, lots of people got the moose, so that's great to know. All right. I will have to try that fusible. I don't usually use fusible because of the stiffness left in the fabric. I feel your pain, so I really encourage you to try the new Sulky Perfect Applique because, again, it is nice and lightweight, but still has that really great hold that you need for sewing and for the longevity of the project. So I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Okay. Thank you for the extra explanation. You're great. Okay, you're welcome. And you're great. All right. Almost all of my Christmas presents are Sulky projects. I love it. That's fantastic. All right. Is the Perfect Applique designed for embroidery too? It is not. It is a very large scale applique. I'm going to show it to you next to me, so hopefully you can get the scale of it. So this is the whole cloth quilt example. One of the things I'll be demoing today, and I'm just going to put him up to my face so you can see how large it is. So, or I'll try to put it up to my face. You can see he's bigger than my face, right? So it is a really large scale focal point. It's really impressive when you make it the center of your quilt or throw, or even a really cool wall hanging. If you cut your background fabric a little bit smaller, that type of thing. So, maybe in the future we can make this a smaller scale and do like an applique in the hoop. It would need to fit inside probably a mega hoop still. So, but for now, this is just an applique project. No embroidery machine is needed. And you're still gonna have a lot of fun with it. And I know it may seem intimidating because it's such a large scale work, but again, I'm going to show you just how easy it can be. We're going to lower our stress levels. We're going to find our zen with the sewing machine, and it's all going to come together, and you're going to look like the expert quilter that you now are, and you will feel very accomplished when it is complete. Okay. All right, so I think I went through Wilderness Wonder Applique video cast enough, and everybody's getting the sort of gist of what we're going to learn this afternoon. So again, if you have not registered, be sure and do so, because we are going to start in about an hour and a half over on sewingonline.sulky.com. It will not be here on Facebook. It is on our Sulky education platform. So the reason you need to register is so that all of the content for the video cast will be accessible through your own personal library. You will view the video, the live stream through the event platform, and it's interactive. We do lots of Q&As. It's a lot like what you're experiencing here, where I am talking directly to you, but you will also get all these camera views. See, everything is set up for this afternoon. You could see I've got my mousse applique in progress at the machine. So that's ready to go. I'll be quilting over here on my Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 2. I've got that set up for free motion. We're going to do some free motion tips and tricks and tutorials. We're going to do stippling and micro stippling and all of these great things. And again, if I can do it, you could for sure do it. Okay, so speaking of other events and, creating your account at sewingonline.sulky.com, I mentioned being able to access past events. So as many of you know, we are going to do our New Year's Eve sew-along live streaming event again this year with Sallie Tomato. And I'm so excited about it because the pattern is a bag that I just love. It is a slouch style bag, and yet it still has some structure to it because the whole bottom of the bag is out of faux leather with some purse feet. So it's slouchy, but yet the bottom has some structure, keeping, the contents inside from jostling too much. There are 2 different strap options, some handles, and a larger strap made out of webbing. I'm going to show you that momentarily, but for those of you who missed our New Year's Eve sew-along last year for 2020, you can still access that event, put it in your library, and when you do, you will immediately get the Zelda bag pattern in your library that you can access as a download. You can print out the bag and make it anytime. You can watch the entire 4-hour sew-along streaming event, or you could pause, fast forward, go to the parts that you need, rewind and rewatch anything that might be confusing to you in the pattern. You can create the embroidery either by hand or machine, and all of the embroidery designs also come with that event. So again, you don't have to wait for anything to go live. You just go to the 2020 sew-along for New Year's Eve and you can access all of that. So last year we did the Zelda bag, and it was a really great bag. I made so many versions of this that each one of my girls got a version of the Zelda bag that they got to keep, and they absolutely love the fringe. They cannot deal. I mean, when they're wearing this, they're just playing with the fringe. It's like their own little fidget toy when we're out and about. They absolutely love it. So one of them got this tan version. This is the pattern that you get for free by signing up for our 2020 New Year's Eve sew-along. So one of them got the tan version and one of them got the gray version. And I don't believe Sallie Tomato has these kits anymore because they sold out super duper fast. But I'm going to show you some versions that were made by viewers, and one of them just might be you. So these are the beautiful threads that came with either kit, and we also packaged this up with a really great lining fabric from Cotton and Steel, and all of those threads and designs coordinate with that Cotton and Steel lining fabric. So that's a really great sort of strategy when you're making a bag. Bring in the colors of that lining fabric into whatever embellishment you choose. Maybe it's even just top stitching. So here is a bag that was made by a viewer during the event, and really, really cute. It's kind of hard to see with the embroidery design that she chose. Maybe I can get it a little larger. It's this cute little cowboy boot that has thread fringe as part of the embroidery design. Some designs call that thread velvet or thread loops, thread fringe, and that's actually done, it's digitized that way for your embroidery machine to do that for you. So she kind of mimicked the fringe on the bag by adding some fringe to the machine embroidery design. And you could see it just turned out so, so great. So this is the version that someone made during the event. If it was you, give me a thumbs up. All right, here's another version of the bag, and this person decided to omit the fringe altogether. So that's entirely your choice, and that's a great way to get more mileage out of the pattern. So you can create a fringe version, you can create another version without fringe, you can create or make a sample based on your tastes. And she chose a totally different machine embroidery design. You don't have to use the designs that come with the event, right? So that's a really, really cool take on the same exact Zelda bag pattern. All right, so I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the different versions of the Aurora bag. This is the bag we will be making this year. So sign up for last year's if you didn't already and grab up that Zelda pattern and all those designs while you're kind of waiting for the Aurora 2021 New Year's Eve sew-along to go live. So we will be live streaming on New Year's Eve day. This sew-along event will start at noon Eastern time. So again, if you are in a different time zone, you will need to adjust for that to make sure that you join us live. If you can't join us live, be sure to sign up anyway, because you will be getting this brand new Aurora bag pattern for free simply by registering. You will get the pattern for free and you can pre-cut your pieces so that we are ready to sew on New Year's Eve. It is a traditional sew-along. We will be sewing in real time and we will be doing embroidery as well. You could see on this main image in the lower left corner of the bag is a cute little patch. And I'm going to show you how to create these patches in the hoop of your embroidery machine. If you don't have an embroidery machine, you can select to receive a kit that has a pre-made patch in it. So anybody can join in the fun. You can either make your own patches or grab the pre-made patch so that you can embellish that bag any way you choose. You could put the patch on one of the inside pockets. You could put the patch on the outside of the bag as shown. You can save your patch for a different project. You will also get, in addition to the Aurora bag pattern, you will get the design files for all three of these patches, not just the I made this patch. So if you want to make the I made this, this is what it looks like using a faux leather scrap that's left over from the kit. And you can see here's what it looks like next to the pre-made patch. Or you can choose the Sewaholic patch. This is what it looks like in the faux leather. A really cool treatment to do this patch in faux leather. Or you could choose Sewing Mends the Sole. Or you could create all three. So entirely up to you. And I will be showing you how to create in the hoop patches and also how best to sew on a patch on either a finished item or an item in progress. So lots to learn during New Year's Eve. Here are the different colorways of the kits that are available. Now, these kits are being fulfilled by Sallie Tomato, not Sulky. So when you sign up for the 2021 New Year's Eve event, that will be on our education platform over at sewingonline.sulky.com. So when you sign up for Wilderness Wonder happening today, you can also register for New Year's Eve 2021. Make sure you are registering for 2021 for the Aurora bag. All right. The links for the kit will take you to Sallie Tomato, so don't get confused. They are handling all of the kits for this event. There is either a purple and blue version or a red and cream version. Both come with some faux leather for the accents on the bag, and you will get a little bit different colored hardware based on the kit color that you choose. I can't decide, so I'm getting both. I just absolutely love the bag and the bag pattern. And did I mention, there are freebies. There are door prizes. There are things throughout the sew-along that you can win. One of them being a Pfaff Ambition 610 sewing machine. I know, it's big time, guys. Big time. You can win this sewing machine, which retails at $999. It's very exciting. So your ticket to the event is basically like a lottery ticket. I know, it's good stuff. Here is another view of the bag so you can see that structure along the base of the bag. So even though if you use that messenger bag webbing strap and it gets kind of a slouchier look to it, you still have that base keeping the structure along the bottom of the bag, which I think is really kind of a unique and upscale version of like a slouch bag. It's got a really cool tassel treatment going on and just lots and lots of things to learn. And plus, who doesn't love this ice-dyed fabric? It's so cool and really trendy, and I just absolutely love it. It's kind of like a tie-dye, but again, it's ice-dyed and really, really neat fabric. So, okay. Denise is saying, could you use cork instead of faux leather? You absolutely could, but if you do grab up the kit for the Aurora Sew Along through Sallie Tomato, it comes with faux leather. So if you want to create your own version, you can grab up some Sallie Tomato cork and the fabric of your choice. When you sign up and you get your pattern, all the materials and supplies needed to make the bag will be on that back cover page of your pattern downloads. So you can view that and see what kind of yardage you need, and all the materials that you need to create the bag. And I think you will find that grabbing up one of those kits is really the way to go, because the kit is going to be on sale until November 15th. So you definitely want to decide which kit and which colorway you want in the next week, because on the 15th of November, the kit deal through Sallie Tomato will expire. So definitely want to get ahead of it. Make sure you get your order in by the 15th. And also, the special event is on sale until the 15th as well. So you want to be sure to register for that before the 15th, because the price is going to go up to $9.99. Right now it's $5.99. And with your $5.99, you will get that pattern, which is a $9.99 value. So you're making money off of this thing, right? You will also get the files for the Sewist Patch collection, which is another $9.99 value. So for only $5.99, you're getting both of these things, a $20 value immediately. So a really, really great deal. Plus, it's such a fun time. We're going to have people in the industry come and join us and kind of crash the event and say hello. And again, we'll be giving away tons of door prizes during that New Year's Eve event. So make sure you are noting the correct time zone, because last year we started at 8 p.m. and we ended at midnight, and it was a little late for some of you. So we took all that feedback and we decided to start at 12 noon Eastern time on New Year's Eve day. So hopefully a lot of you have the day off for, the New Year's Day holiday, because New Year's Eve is on a Friday this year and New Year's Day is on a Saturday. So you might get the day off and you could spend it sewing along with us. So again, make sure you register for 2021. If you want to grab up that Zelda bag from last year, register for the 2020. Also, register for Wilderness Wonder Applique, happening at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today. So in just over an hour, we will head on over to sewingonline.sulky.com, and then you will see the reason behind my crazy sewing setup that I have behind me today. And that's because I'm going to set up all my cameras here so that you can see everything up close and personal. Amy says, is it recorded so you can watch it later? Yes, it is. So as soon as any of our live events end, it takes a little time to kind of revert, or not revert, but to transform into our on-demand format. So after the live event is over, you can refresh the event page and you will find the video for the event right there, ready for you to watch, pause, fast forward, rewind as many times as you choose. So it will always be stored in your library, that event, and you can easily access the event page, watch everything, download everything. If you signed up for Zelda last year and you can't remember where you saved that pattern on your desktop, you can go into your library, access that past event, and find your downloads and sort of download or print whatever you need. So that's a really, really great function and bonus for having our education platform, because everything is stored there for you to watch and view at any time. All right. All right, time is ticking away. I know. I better get going so that I can be prepared and ready for all of you and have all of our lights ready and our cameras set up and all that good stuff. So again, make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing this post here today on Facebook or YouTube so that you are eligible to win our Wilderness Wonder, our Wilderness Wonder 6-pack of thread. That is today's giveaway here on So What. And later today, I will be having 4 door prizes to give away during Wilderness Wonder, happening at 2 p.m. Eastern Time over at sewingonline.sulky.com. All right, I'm going to go grab a glass of water. You do the same, and then meet me over on our education platform very shortly for Wilderness Wonder. I will see you there, and I will see you next week for another So What. Have a great day, everyone.